Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today. Look, if you've been searching for a straightforward, no nonsense breakdown on how to finally get ahead financially, well, you hit the jackpot. You're in the right place. Today, we're zeroing in on a massive milestone, one that literally changes your whole financial trajectory. And hey, this explainer is built from the ground up for absolute beginners. We're going to map out exactly how to save your first $10,000. And the best part, we're going to see how to do it even if you're rocking a smaller salary right now. You seriously don't need to be some Wall Street exec to pull this off. You just need the right framework. So let's dive right in. So have you ever caught yourself wondering why some folks always seem to just have money while others are constantly, desperately living paycheck to paycheck? Man, it is such a relatable struggle, isn't it? It's that awful feeling of watching your bank account slowly drain down to zero right before your next payday, while a friend who maybe even makes the exact same salary as you seems totally comfortable. What's the real difference there? Well, the source material we're breaking down today tackles this exact question head on. When we're stuck in that brutal paycheck to paycheck cycle, our gut reaction is almost always, I just need to make more money. If I could just get a raise, all my problems would totally vanish, right? But the data actually points us in a completely different direction, totally shattering that myth. The real secret, it's not earning more. It's managing your money wisely. And wow, that is a massive mindset shift. Because here's the truth. You simply cannot out-earn poor money management. If you don't know how to handle $3,000 a month, there's no way you're going to know how to handle $10,000 a month. So instead of stressing over scoring some huge raise right this second, we really need to focus our energy on mastering the cash we already have. That's the secret sauce. Let's check out the very first habit that's going to get us there.
All right, first simple habit on our list, the 50-30-20 rule. This right here is the absolute foundational budgeting framework. It's totally perfect if you're an absolute beginner looking for a simple, structured way to just handle your income. Basically, it takes all the guesswork out of your budget by slicing your paycheck into three distinct buckets. First up, you spend 50% on your needs. Now, since we're starting from scratch here, we gotta be pretty strict. Needs are your absolute non-negotiable essentials. We're talking rent, basic groceries, keeping the lights on, and the gas you need to actually get to work. Okay, next up, 30% goes to your wants. This is your lifestyle bucket. It's dining out with friends, your streaming subscriptions, maybe snagging those new shoes you've been eyeing. It's the fun stuff you enjoy, but don't strictly need to survive. And finally, and this is absolutely crucial for our $10,000 goal, the last 20% is locked in completely for savings or investing. The math here is honestly beautiful because it perfectly structures your spending so you are guaranteed to put 20% toward your future every single time you get paid.
Moving right along to our second simple habit, pay yourself first. Now, knowing that 50-30-20 split is great in theory, but this is the actual behavioral trick you need to make the habit stick in the real world. Paying yourself first means transferring a portion of your income straight into savings before you spend a single dime on anything else. I really want to highlight that word, before. Seriously, the very second your salary hits your account, your very first move is locking down that savings. We are absolutely not waiting until the end of the month to see what's left over. Because let's be real, usually there's literally nothing left over. Human nature just takes over and we end up spending whatever is sitting there staring at us in our checking account. You've got to put your future self first ahead of your current spending. So, the practical way to pull this off is a super simple three-step loop. Step 1, your salary arrives. Step 2, you immediately transfer that designated 20% chunk right into your savings. And step 3, only then do you spend what's left on all your needs and wants. Honestly, the absolute smartest way to do this is to just automate the whole shebang. You can literally pull up your banking app right now and set up an automatic transfer for the exact day your paycheck drops. By making that savings transfer your absolute first option, you're basically hiding that money from your own spending impulses. It becomes out of sight, out of mind, just safely tucked away, quietly building your wealth while you go about living your life on the remaining 80%.
Okay, time for our third simple habit, and this one is critical. Avoid high-interest debt.
I really want you to look at this one as a serious warning. Look, you can follow the 50-30-20 rule to the letter. You can pay yourself first like a pro. But this is the trap that can wipe out all that hard work in a heartbeat. The big villain here is compounding interest. Now, compounding interest is basically magic when you're investing and growing your wealth, but it is absolutely brutal when you're in debt. The source specifically warns us that credit card debt can just vaporize your financial progress. Because of how compounding works, the amount you owe starts growing exponentially. Let me give you a quick real-world example.
Say you throw a $1,000 TV on a credit card that has a 25% interest rate, and you just make the minimum payments each month. Guys, it could take you years to pay that TV off, and you'll end up paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars in pure interest. You're literally paying interest on your interest. It is a vicious cycle that actively drains the exact wealth you're trying so hard to build. If we're gonna hit that $10,000 goal, dodging this high-interest debt trap is totally non-negotiable.
Up next, building wealth through consistency.
All right, let's shake off that warning and get back to the good stuff, the overarching journey. We've got our 3 foundational habits: the 50-30-20 budget, paying yourself first, and dodging that high-interest debt. Now, let's bring it all together. $10,000. This is our destination. This is exactly what managing your money wisely, categorizing your budget, securing your savings, and avoiding those credit cards is all building toward. Now, I know, it might feel like you're staring at the base of Mount Everest right now, especially if you're working with a smaller salary. It's totally normal to feel a little intimidated by a number like that when you're just starting out as a beginner. But the real secret to conquering it, it's all about the timeline.
There's this quote from our source material that I absolutely love, and if you're an absolute beginner, you really need to hear this. It says, "Wealth isn't built overnight. It's built through small, consistent decisions every month." Man, please take that to heart. You don't need some massive windfall of cash, you don't need a winning lottery ticket, and you don't need a rich uncle to hit your goal. Patience and monthly consistency, those are the true engines of wealth. It's really just about executing those 3 simple habits, paycheck after paycheck, month after month. It's those quiet, boring, repetitive little actions that eventually snowball into extraordinary financial freedom. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I've got a question I want to leave you with. We've gone through the framework, we've broken down the habits, and we've seen exactly why managing money wisely completely beats just trying to earn more. So looking ahead, what small decision are you going to make with your very next paycheck? Are you going to sit down and map out that 50-30-20 split? Are you going to finally hop on your banking app and automate that transfer to pay yourself first? Getting to your first 10 grand doesn't start with some giant scary leap. It starts with just one small, deliberate action today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. I really hope this gives you the exact tools you need to step up and totally take control of your financial future.